This is my 1993 Suzuki Carry. I'm just going to do a little walkthrough of everything we have and don't have. First of all, we've got the Australia windshield. You don't come by those too easily around the States, I don't think. We've got some Japanese stuff up here. Not really sure what those are either, but I'll have my guy Crawford translate those maybe. We've got the Australian blue light edition, as well as the visor to keep the sun out. Not sure if I'll keep that. It does get pretty hot here, but not too fond of how it's just been bolted in to the ceiling. You'll see that on the inside. We've got no bumper attached, but we do have a bumper. That's over here. With our spare tire, not going to get too much use out of it, I don't think, but I want to put the original tires back on, so I'm going to keep this around to help me find, or maybe not original, but the same size, because this is what we got. There's some sawdust on it from working on a project, but our Australian tires, they have been bumped out as well as lifted a little bit. I am a short guy, so I kind of want to take it back to the short height. Also, I'll pop this down. You can't really lay this bed down all the way because of the tires. But while it's down, I can highlight another sick addition by the Australians. We, I guess, just screwed lights straight in. Didn't really care that the stuff was still sticking out. Some were screws, some were bolts. They were daisy chained together. I did not take them off, or I did not remove the daisy chain, but the previous owner, who said he didn't do anything but that, did remove them. So I'm going to take them out. Maybe replace it with something else, depending on what we need as far as lights to be road legal. We've also got this awesome battery box. It's a different color than the rest of the truck, and it sits high up enough to where when I put the smallest battery that I could get, which I think it's like 51R or something like that, the nodes actually touch and spark on the truck. So it's a fun little game of operation to put the battery in and out. Also, I'm just now realizing we can just take this off by wiggling the screw enough, I guess. No, I think it's welded. We've got the passenger seat right here. I actually did take this out myself because, well, we can show you on the other side, but we took out everything on the inside. We've got the floor mats. We've got the handbrake that actually isn't connected to anything before we took it apart. It was just cut. We've got the shifter. We've got this thing. I'm actually not sure if this is original. I don't think it was, but it's the fuel pump. So when I start the car, I have to flip that on afterwards to get the fuel flowing. We've got an addition, which this actually doesn't seem too bad, but the radio as well as speakers, which you can see maybe on the other door, but definitely on the passenger's door here. Air conditioning, which I was not expecting to have. I originally thought this was a 1991, but it's 1993. Maybe it's in 1991, but I thought it wasn't in the 1991. We got the broken lights. We got the cool stickers, which I think I can find original or maybe copies of the original to put back on there. I do love the S-Carry. It's scary. Let's see, what else do we have? We've got broken door handle. That's going to have to get replaced. I kind of like the idea of doing the pull strap door handles. This was the wiring for the fuel pump. It was just kind of dangling underneath the car, so we cut it off. Original handle or steering wheel, I'm guessing. I do kind of like that. Got to figure out something for this. We've got axle lock, diff lock. It's in kilometers an hour and not miles per hour, so that's going to be fun to figure out.
What happened there?
The kitty litter is because we spilled coolant on the ground, and we have lots of neighborhood cats.
I meant about the missing engine.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, you got to take the engine out when you get a new car and just tear it all apart and figure out everything that's the problem. This is pretty cool. I can't read it, but my buddy Crawford can, and he said it's like instructions on how to start the car, I think. So I'll have to get him back in here once it gets working. But behind it, we've got this awesome job where you just drill a hole and put a bolt through with some washers. Makes it where you can't close this all the way. So if I keep the visor, I'll have to figure something out with that because I'm not a huge fan of that look. Now the engine, not 100% sure what the issue was. The car did start and run, but it blew smoke like crazy and had a terrible sound. So we took the engine out. We are going to take it apart, figure it out. Maybe it's a piston ring, maybe it's just the head gasket, maybe, actually for sure, it's going to have something to do with the catalytic converter being unrecognizable and rusted out. Here's another addition that the Australians, I guess, made. They were doing some off-roading maybe. They had a farm or something they were driving on, but it's a snorkel or a scuba, depending on what you call it. Basically air intake so that you can drive through some water. Now I was originally thinking I would take this off. Not a big fan of the PVC pipe look. Also, when it's all said and done, I don't really want it to look like an off-road vehicle. I want it to look very aesthetic and cool to drive around the city. But I know someone that I think a couple of years ago, we did have some flooding here, and they did flood their engine in their K-truck driving around. So maybe I'll keep this and just upgrade it to be metal instead of PVC, or just make it blend in a little more. Okay, so we need a place to work on the engine, and my shed does not have a table. Not every day is going to be nice enough to work on my pile of bricks and pavers, so we're going to build one. It's going to go about right here. We headed to the department store to pick up some wood. So now we are going to get cutting. All right. Don't want to drip coolant out of that tube. Hopefully it's dry by now. All right, got the table built. Get enough room to fit the jack underneath. This is a little heavy, but we can have, just imagine it's up here. Just imagine it's up here. Okay, we got everything in here. Thanks for your help, Noah. See you next time. All right, as you can see, we have the table finished, but it is pretty dark in here. There's no light, just the daylight coming through the double doors being open up. But if it was a hot day and I wanted a fan going, or I guess I'd probably keep the doors open. But if it's a rainy day and don't want to get wet, be too dark, and even with this light that we have coming in now, it's kind of dark in person looking at this. And I don't really want to hold a flashlight the whole time, so we're going to install a solar panel light. Probably going to put the solar panel up there beside the security light solar panel, and I just need to figure out where in here to put it. I think my brain's telling me I can just drill a hole somewhere over here, obviously not straight down from the roof because I don't want water to get in, but I also feel like anywhere I drill a hole, water is going to get in. So I'm just going to think about this for a second and probably end up drilling a hole sideways, or maybe initially I'll just try to fit it through here, but also probably not because that seems pretty tight. This is why we need the light. It's dark in here, and I would like to unbox this. I did order a 2-pack. It says 1-pack. That's a little concerning, but I think it's just supposed to be 2 lights. Got a bracket. Got the brain of it. I think it's gonna tell it it's probably too dark, but there's a little battery charging thing there. Some hardware. Let's see. 2 lights. And of course, the solar panel. Okay, so I've been looking around. I think what I'll do is put this guy right here. Then the wire goes up into that corner. Solar panel will be up on the roof. Drill a hole down there, and then we'll be good to go. All right. You are watching from top of the K-truck as I demonstrate how I know nothing. I gotta figure out how to put this up here, and I don't really think I can put it sideways. That sounds kind of not smart. What are you doing? You just staring at the piece of paper? You should probably speak out loud, like what you're thinking in your head.
My thought is maybe this
Hello?
screws in.
Okay, well, if you don't say it out loud, Collin's probably going to leave this 5-minute video of you just staring at a 4-step process, breathing loudly, and you're going to look really stupid. No? Okay. Well, I'll tell him then. So, we are kind of just staring at a 4-step process and maybe jumping from 1 to 4 to 2 to 3, some kind of ADHD little process. But really what we're spending most of our time thinking about right now is that we don't really want to have the solar panel just hanging off the side of our shed. We're afraid that might look kind of weird. So we want to put it on top of the roof. But then we're thinking about, well, is the solar panel going to get too hot if it's on top of the roof? Is it going to not be able to drain properly? Am I going to damage my roof? All on my shed, by the way. Obviously, wouldn't put this on my house without a professional. So that's what we're doing. Thinking about all the different options, and in the end, we're just going to go with doing it the way it tells us to do it, which is going to look even worse that we're not explaining this out loud and there's no change to the 4-step plan. hole at the installation position. Drill hole then hammered into place. I don't know about that. All right, let's see. Okay. I already know. I'm not gonna have enough freaking hands for this. Boom. My eyes. This is so janky. That's right. We just need light inside. One day we'll get a nice solar setup out here. We need circus music while I'm doing this. Ridiculous. Dropping screws. Oh man, where did this guy go? I just want light. I just want light. You're joking, you're joking, you're joking. It only came with one and I've lost, or two. My beautiful ground cover covering the screw. Could have gone under the shed too, I guess, but I don't think it would have bounced. I'm sure I'll hit it with a weed eater. Congratulations, buddy. You're getting a big screw. Something. This is actually the perfect task to have two people for, and it's the only one so far with one. Okay, now we want to tighten that bad boy up. Okay, that should have taken probably 10 minutes total, but we're just getting started. This might not work. I mean, it's gonna work. This might not be the best way to do it, but I'm using what I've got. And I'll fix anything that messes up port too badly. Yeah, see, I don't think it's the right drill bit. All right, we'll do the super stubborn. I am my own landlord. There we go. That ought to do it. Okay. Completely out of daylight. Finally have a hole. It's definitely too big, but it's the best I could do. I kind of want to go get some like little rubber flap or seal anyway to make that like watertight. But yeah, now it's time to do the rest.
Oh my god, don't record this. Oh my god.
Alright, there's my handiwork. Stuffed it with plastic for now. We'll get that fixed later. Strung the wire across. Had it charging all day. Benjamin helped me set this bad boy up. Look at this, look at this. And also, this is the dimmest setting, and we can see everything that we need to see. Oh yeah. It's all coming together. So now this is up. We're gonna start messing around with this guy. Get a little work done while everybody else is, the rest of the crew's out and about. See you next time.